Hello, I'm Priscilla Monzo, and I'm here interviewing Laura Marino. Asking you, so how's your day? How's your Mother's Day?
It was wonderful, thank you.
So how many children do you have?
I have two.
You have two.
I have one boy and one girl.
Oh, that's good. How old are they?
My son is 10 and my daughter is 18.
Aw, you proud mommy?
I am. They're very good children.
So I know, like, in the past you were a police officer. So what made you decide to be a police officer?
Well, I really wanted to help people, and it's an excellent job with wonderful benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, more importantly, I think I just said I wanted to help people.
Yeah. So how long were you a police officer for?
I was a police officer for 10 years. I was kind of forced to retire after I had a car accident. Mm-hmm. I had 2 surgeries on my shoulder, so kind of pushed me out right after 9/11.
Oh, okay. So, overall, like, how was your experience as a police officer?
As a police officer, it's a wonderful job. It can be, very rewarding at times, and other times could be very stressful. But for the most part, like I said, it was a great job. It was a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So during the 9/11 attack, where were you?
I was actually on vacation on 9/11 itself, on the day itself. I was actually home and sat there and watched it on TV. I was not supposed to be on duty that week. That was actually the first week for the kids to go back to school, so I usually take off that week. Mm-hmm. I did see it on the news, so I waited for my husband to come home, and he was actually stuck on a bus going into work so that he could watch our daughter at the time, because my son wasn't born at that point. And when he got home the following day, I went in. I ended my vacation, obviously, and went into work.
How was it, like, seeing it on the news?
Actually, I couldn't believe my eyes. I sat there and I was actually in shock, and it seemed like it really wasn't real, that something like this could not happen to our country, to our city. So I actually was just sitting there in shock, and I watched it as they played it over in the replays. And like I said, I had to wait for my husband to get home so he could watch our daughter at the time, who was in 2nd grade. And then I went to work, because from there on out, it was pretty much, we were working 14, 15, 16-hour, tours.
Yeah. Do you think it would have been any differently if you were on duty that day?
No, I don't think it would have been any different. I'm actually very happy that I actually wasn't at work that day, because our precinct was one of the first responders, being the vicinity into Manhattan. And actually, one of our colleagues was killed in the tragedy.
I see. So, did you know any other officers who were affected by the tragedy?
Well, personally, no. I did not know any of them personally, except that one officer. He was actually in the emergency service unit, which was adjacent to our precinct, to my precinct. His name was Rodney Gillis. He was a very brave and very happy kind of police officer. He took his job very seriously, and he was a great co-worker. And I guess that's, I say that because I just feel that I'm glad that I wasn't there, because I just feel like anything could have happened that day, and I wouldn't be, I would be afraid not to be here for my children today.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. So, you said that you were there for the next day on the cleanup. How
Yes.
was your experience on that day?
Well, that was a very sad and traumatic experience, and I think for anyone who was there, because it felt so hopeless, as much as you wanted to hope that there would be people found, you kind of felt helpless to all those people that were lost that day. I distinctly remember the odor that was in the air. I could not describe it to you today, but it's something that stuck with me. I think will stick with me forever. And going down there at night with the lights, the very high, high intensity lights when they were trying to search for people and just in rescue. And the feeling of emptiness in downtown Manhattan, the feeling of like some third world, like it just didn't seem like our city. It was, like I said, it was very sad, very traumatic. I look back and then the follow up after that, because it just didn't end there. It was just, it was just forever the search, and then the high alerts that we were on, and constant awareness, trying to be aware of what else could happen. And so it was a lot of intensity within the police department and the officers for quite a while.
How do you think it, overall, like, how would you describe it changed, like, as a police officer after that?
Definitely, you saw the seriousness of your job after that, because you never thought something like that, of that magnitude, could happen. And when it did, everyone responded, not just police officers, fire department. Obviously, there was so many firemen that were lost in that tragedy, as well as, just the everyday people that were there, innocent bystanders, people that had nothing to do with anything. But I think after that, people started to take their positions within the fire department, police department, much more seriously, because we were at a different level of security from then on.
Overall, how do you think that this tragic event affected you?
Definitely made me appreciate life a lot more. Made me appreciate being with my family even more so, because there were people that day who went to work and had every intention of coming home that night to see their children, and they never made it home. And when I was still a police officer at that time for a while before I retired, but it made you think, you just want to make sure you get home, and you want to get home safely, and you want to make sure your friends and your partners, your colleagues, they go home with you, that they all get home safely. So definitely made me appreciate life a lot more.
That's it. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you.